Lemon poppy seed pound cake with huckleberry marmalade. I fucked that up, man. Okay, now that I've got your attention. Are you listening? Are you listening? Good. So this video is another top 10 list. You know, I'm not usually the one that does top 10 lists unless I'm very passionate about it. And you know what? This thing I'm talking about today, I am extremely passionate about it. Can you guess what I'm talking about today? I'll give you a freaking hint. Do you know where that song's from? It's from Twisted Metal 2. That's right, today I'm doing a Twisted Metal video. Yes, finally, Justin Dart makes another Twisted Metal type video. And this video, I don't think anyone's really done. I mean, I kind of got the idea from just thinking about it, you know. I did a top 10 girls I like and honey pop girls. Well, it's time to get more manly and stop thinking about sex, okay? And stop being a horny simp. Today, I am counting down my picks for the top 10 underrated Twisted Metal characters. Yes, I am going to be talking about 10 of the most underrated, underused Twisted Metal characters. And this kind of was a little bit tough, a bit of a tough list to make. Because there's a few characters that were only used once or twice, but I'm like, you know, they could easily make another appearance. Some of these characters are really like underrated and only used once. Some of which I don't even know why. I mean, I know why with some, but so yeah, this is gonna be my top 10 underrated Twisted Metal characters. And keep in mind, this is just my opinion. Number 1 may shock you because some of y'all don't appreciate that character, but I'm going to talk about them from 10 to 1. So let's get started with this list. Number 10 is, you know, a very, very bland type of character. It is basically a clone of Sweet Tooth. It is Goldtooth from Twisted Metal Lost, which was the showcase of what they finished. What they did finish, not really. I mean, Harbor City. If y'all remember me talking about Twisted Metal Harbor City, you know that they never finished it, and there was gonna be a character in there that was just a gold Sweet Tooth. But I kind of think it is a pretty cool looking character. I'm not gonna lie. Goldtooth it's just a gold Sweet Tooth, but I do think there's some potential for like maybe another character to drive it instead of having 2 Sweet Tooths in the same tournament. You know, it's kind of like with Bowser and Dry Bowser in the same race in Mario Kart. Well, but I do think Goldtooth has potential. You know, all that's known about Goldtooth is literally a merchant gave Sweet Tooth a more armored golden ice cream truck. That's all we know. But I think there's potential for like another character to drive it, and maybe like they could, you know, redo it, like make it not look exactly like Sweet Tooth, but gold. Maybe they could like make it into a gold van and have like maybe like a freaking weird, like maybe something weird on top instead of a clown head. It has potential. Number 9. Some of y'all are gonna get very pissed off at me for saying this, and I don't care. Number 9 is ATV. That's right, I am praising the weakest freaking character in Twisted Metal head-on. Everybody freaking hates ATV, at least the vehicle. And I do agree he is very weak, but when you do upgrade his special weapon, he kind of is almost overpowered, but he's still very weak in the armor department. Even Mr. Grimm cannot survive ATV. And the name is kind of stupid. They could have came up with a better name for him, but my favorite part about ATV is not the car itself, not the four-wheeler, it's the freaking driver, Gene Ruddish. You want to know what inspired Gene Ruddish? Well, dangle, I don't know what you're telling you. I tell you what, a dangle Gene Ruddish ain't even be watching little Pokey's butthole with dangle Boomhauer. That's right. The character that drives ATV is literally an embodiment of Boomhauer from King of the Hill. And I thought that's kind of funny. I mean, literally, Twisted Metal has been known to parody other characters. I mean, I even think the original Sweet Tooth was supposed to be the Joker, because Sweet Tooth originally had green hair and not flames. And there's obvious references to other movies, like, Agent Stone is obviously James Bond, and the Grim Reaper's in there. Literally, Twisted Metal is no stranger to parodying or making fun of another character or another series. So it caught me by surprise that Gene Ruddish was a parody of Boomhauer from King of the Hill. And ever since then, I'm like, yeah, I have more respect for ATV now. I mean, Gene Ruddish is a funny little character. He's like a 22-year-old guy who just wants women, but then everybody gets turned on after Calypso grants his wish, and I thought that was kind of funny. I'm like, yeah, everybody's going to be wanting not Boomhauer, Gene Ruddish. Yeah, I almost called him Boomhauer, because he really has the same voice, really. Number 8, the only character from Twisted Metal Small Brawl I will be mentioning is Piecemeal. Yes, I'm talking about Piecemeal. That character has a lot of potential. Now, I do think there's a part of me that wishes I might have put Trapper on this list, because Trapper was more interesting than Piecemeal in a way. But Piecemeal, I kind of like the name. I like the look of the car. It's like a combination of various vehicles from the contest. But Trapper, I will mention Trapper as an honorable mention, because Trapper is pretty neat too. But Piecemeal, I could see like some evil scientist dude driving Piecemeal, and like wanting to build a whole freaking death machine and destroy the world and shit. I think he should like wish from Calypso, if he were in another game, where he'd like take all these broken parts and be able to craft a death machine. That does have potential, but we don't know nothing about the secret characters in Twisted Metal Small Brawl. Heck, two of them had freaking scrap stories, being Darkseid, driven by Jimmy Ash, who's like a devil kid. And then even Axel was supposed to have a story, and he even had an ending, but they cut it out because it was offensive towards crippled people. So, yeah. But the new characters they all have potential. I kind of thought Mime was cool too, but Mime is a little bit weaker compared to Piecemeal or Trapper. So I'm not going to be mentioning Mime. Well, I kind of did, but number 7, 12-pack. From Twisted Metal Lost. The only other new character from Twisted Metal Lost that we were given was 12-pack. And he really was one of the cooler characters with the story and the car. The car was really cool. It was a stock racing car with the number 12 on the side. And the driver is this dude who has no head. Like, he got into a crash during his prime, and a crazy fan jumped from the bleachers and took his head. So now he's basically hunting for the person that took his head. He literally is like a headless horseman type character, and that really is like, that's actually pretty cool for a Twisted Metal character. They didn't just make him the straight up headless horseman. They gave him more of a reason. Like, you don't think of a headless horseman to have a racing career and then lose his freaking head during a crash, and then someone steal it, a crazy person steal it. He's not even a horseman, he's just a headless man. But it's still pretty cool. 12-pack is a cool character, and I hope to God they bring him back one day if they ever make another game or whatever. I think he's even worthy of being in the TV series, like as a side character or an Easter egg at least. But only true fans will know who he is, because 12-pack was only supposed to be in Twisted Metal Harbor City, which got canceled, but he was a cool character. Number 6, Pit Viper. I had to do that. I had to. I'm sorry. I'm paying tribute to 72 Winnebago. Pit Viper. Pit Viper. I feel bad for Pit Viper. No joke. I feel sorry for Pit Viper, a fictional character. Not only did they replace her with Grasshopper, but they kind of downgraded Pit Viper in a way. I mean, Grasshopper obviously is based on Pit Viper, but I think Pit Viper was cooler. Like, it was really a dirty Doom Buggy with a snake on it. Grasshopper is just a generic green Doom Buggy. That's it. That just hops. And has a very annoying special weapon. Why the heck did Pit Viper only appear in Twisted Metal 1, but the rest of the games she was forgotten about? I even think the driver, Angela Fortin, kind of cute. I mean, she was kind of a bitch. Looked kind of like a bitch in the Lost Ending, but she's kind of like this Asian girl. I don't know if she's Asian or Hispanic, but whatever. I even made a character based on her, but yeah, Pit Viper. It's a shame how they didn't do any justice to that cool character. The only character that never appeared in another game was Pit Viper. All the other characters from Twisted Metal 1 have appeared at least twice. Especially Sweet Tooth, Mr. Grimm, and Warthog, who have been in every single game. Every single, even Twisted Metal 4, where they were changed up a bit, they were still considered the same character. But Pit Viper was supposed to be in Harbor City, but of course they didn't put her in Lost to show that she was there. But there is concept art and there is the leaked gameplay of Harbor City build. But they did a big injustice to Pit Viper, just like how they did an injustice to Nadia from Honeycomb Studio. They used her once, had the chance to use her again, but didn't. Pit Viper is very underrated. We need to start a petition. Hashtag Save Pit Viper. Hashtag Vipers Lives Matter. I should stop saying that, but Pit Viper. Number 5 is the rest of the characters on this list are actually going to be from the 989 era. I want to include, like, not because if I had to include all the 989 characters, not all of them were really good. It's only like 5 of them I can think of were really good. Some I do think I should have put, but number 5 is Moonbuggy from Twisted Metal 4. Moonbuggy is the best boss, hands down. The only new boss in that game that was good was Moonbuggy, because Crusher is nothing but a freaking clone of Mr. Slam, Augur, and Trash Man. You already had 3 characters that did the same thing. You got a 4th one named Crusher. I hate Crusher. And RC Car, just no, fuck RC Car. RC Car is the most retarded car I've ever seen. It looks like a freaking white van with a freaking penis on the top. I'm not kidding. Looks like there's a freaking dick laser on top of the van. So I hate RC Car, but Moonbuggy, I will say Moonbuggy has more potential than any other of the new bosses. Moonbuggy is really like this yellow Caterpillar 6-wheeled space-looking vehicle. He looks like he could be a rival to a Quattro or like an alien invader, like Emperor Xizzle from The Sims 2, the DS version. I think Moonbuggy has potential to be in another game, like where you fight him on a space station. I had an idea where the cars go to a space station. And they fight Moonbuggy. Moonbuggy's the boss of the space station level. But Moonbuggy is really a really cool boss. The design is excellent. They should have given Moonbuggy a character, and then boom, Moonbuggy would be awesome to have as a character. They all have potential, but unfortunately the bosses had no story, no driver. Just there to be bosses. Nothing else. Which I think is kind of disappointing. If they were to remake Twisted Metal 4, I'd love for them to do that. They have to at least create some new stories for the boss characters. I could see Minion competing so he can take the ring away from Sweet Tooth. I could see Mr. Slam coming back, but have freaking Simon Whittlebone as freaking Milton Wadhams like he wasn't Head On, and make him want to staple it back. I'm surprised they didn't do that because, Twisted Twisted Metal 4 was known to parody and make fun of the popular movies and celebrities at the time. We'll get to that. Speaking of which, number 4, Firestarter. Yes, I love Firestarter, okay? Firestarter actually made Thumper make sense, okay? Twisted Metal 3 actually made Thumper make more sense. As far as the car goes. The story doesn't, but Firestarter, literally, they should have done that in the first place. They should have given Thumper a proper special weapon that made sense for the car and give the flamethrower ability to a character that's like a pyromaniac. And Firestarter definitely is a pyromaniac. Though his wish is to have a freaking barbecue, I think that's a bit stupid. If he were actually a pyromaniac, I think he should just wish for the whole world to burn. And while he laughs about it. But Firestarter is literally based on Keith Flint from The Prodigy. And the car, Firestarter itself, named after the Prodigy song of the same title, Firestarter. The Firestarter is very underrated. Firestarter, I actually think Firestarter is cooler than Club Kid. I do like Club Kid. I will mention Club Kid, but I don't even consider Club Kid underrated. Everyone who plays Twisted Metal 3, most of the time they choose Club Kid because of his special weapon. But Club Kid's cool too, but I'm not going to mention him. He's not on the list, so I'm sorry. Alright, let's go to number 3. The top 3, yeah. Number 3, Orbital. Out of all the characters that 99 Studios made for Twisted Metal 4, Orbital has got to be the best one. They even gave him a good ending. An ending that made sense. It was actually funny a little bit. I mean, it's sad too, but Orbital is basically when you take James Bond and you morph him with Two-Face from Batman. What do you get? You get Agent Orbital. A British secret agent that drives a silver McLaren F1. He had half his face burnt off by Dr. Romare, and his wish was to be normal, have his face fixed, but he worded it wrong when he made his wish. He said, I don't want to be the only one on the planet with only half a face. So instead of them fixing his face, they gave everyone else in the world the same treatment. They made everyone in the world, as far as I know, have half a face. And that ending was the only one that made proper sense and actually kind of made more sense than any of the other ones, literally. So Orbital has to be the best character, right? Well, he is. But these last two, I will say, because I do have my own headcanon for them, or my own version of them, because they do have potential to be good. So these last two characters are actually pretty hated among Twisted Metal fans. So number 2 is Pizza Boy. Yes, I'm talking about Pizza Boy. I'm praising Pizza Boy for his potential. The only reason they really made Pizza Boy's driver, Conan Zhang, obviously to make fun of Eminem, who was becoming famous at the time of the game's release. That is the only reason they made Pizza Boy, to make fun of Eminem. And he was really annoying during his ending, but I will say this, he has potential to be good. I was thinking, like, maybe, if he's trying to be a rapper, what if Bruce Coltrane was like his former partner, but Bruce betrayed him, and he was like put in the shadows, and he's trying to. What if he like wished for him to be, a better rapper than Bruce Coltrane? Literally, it would make sense if Bruce Coltrane, like, he's a rapper, gangster dude. What if they were once friends, but Bruce betrayed him, so he becomes jealous and enters Twisted Metal to outshine Bruce. That is my headcanon for Pizza Boy. Instead of just making him a freaking Eminem ripoff, a bad Eminem spoof. So I will say, Pizza Boy has potential. I even made Pizza Boy's driver, Connor Zhang. I made a character based on him, Connor Yang, who is my character's best friend in my series, Justin's Life Adventures, or The Adventures of Justin Dark. I designed him, I made my own version of Pizza Boy. His name is Connor. He's like this, he really has a similar story because these characters I'm talking about are strictly based on these Twisted Metal characters. Twisted Metal is a big inspiration to my own fiction, so. But number one, this is another character. This is the most hated character of Twisted Metal 4. And I don't understand why. I don't understand. Number one is Goggle Eyes. Yes, Goggle Eyes, as far as I can tell, is a very hated character among players of Twisted Metal 4 and Twisted Metal in general. Everybody freaking hates Goggle Eyes. Because I don't even get why. I think Trash Man and Drag Queen are the worst. Or the Joneses, but their ending was kind of funny. So, I think the Joneses at least have a good spot, but they are annoying characters. But Drag Queen and Trash Man are terrible. They're just there to make fun of femboys or make fun of retarded big fat people. Like, Trash Man is literally a retarded man. The only reason he entered Twisted Metal was to make the world trash. Well, if you fast forward about a little over 20 years later, he kind of got his wish. You know what I mean, 2021, trash. But, Goggle Eyes. Let's get back to Goggle Eyes. People really hate this dude because, he's not funny. His car is just a clone of Sweet Tooth. Oh no, he's retarded as a retarded exterminator that looks like he's a fighter pilot. First of all, he's not a clone of Sweet Tooth. A clone of Sweet Tooth would be a white ice cream truck, and it would shoot the same thing with a special weapon. That's what a clone is if you have the same freaking ability. Goggle Eyes doesn't do that. Goggle Eyes has a toxic spray for a special weapon. And his van isn't even an ice cream truck. It is a exterminator van with a cool detail. It's a white van with a no bug symbol on the side and has a giant cockroach on top. And that character, that's a great design for an exterminator vehicle. It's just like in King of the Hill. I think, like, what was the name? Dale? Dale had an exterminator van with a freaking bug on top. Goggle Eyes is the same thing. A freaking exterminator van with a bug on top. And to be honest, he is the original exterminator van in Twisted Metal. Because in Twisted Metal 2012, we got Vermin, who was literally another exterminator vehicle. I'm like, obviously, they like the idea of having an exterminator vehicle in Twisted Metal. And they obviously got that idea from Goggle Eyes. They obviously did. But let's talk about the driver. I think he has a cool design. I'm not kidding. It looks like he inhaled a bunch of chemicals and went crazy and he said, oh, I'm going to kill all these freaking bugs. And I like his little goggles on his head. It might be a reference to the movie Mouse Hunt, which was popular at the time. It came out like a couple years before the game did. So it would make sense that Goggle Eyes is at least something to do with a mouse hunt or whatever. But the driver himself is just a crazy chemist. And his ending wasn't too bad, actually. It was actually kind of a clever play on the words on butterflies in your throat or your stomach. You know that saying when you can't talk to a girl or something? Oh, it looks like you got butterflies in your stomach. After he said he wants to trap all the bugs and kill them all at once, they put the bugs in his stomach. Literally, that is a play on the words, you got butterflies in your stomach. If you haven't heard that saying, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but really, that ending was a play on the words, you've got butterflies on your stomach. So, and he basically dies. He basically chokes on the bugs and he falls on the ground and all the bugs start flying out of his mouth. That at least wasn't too bad compared to, like, Drag Queen or Trash Man. I mean, at least his ending kind of made more sense, and it was a little bit clever, just a little bit. Not too bad, but not too much, but. And like I said with Connor Nazang, I made a version of Goggle Eyes for my own series. I made my own headcanon for him. My version of Goggle Eyes is a crazy chemist that it does drugs, which are the chemicals. He's missing a finger. He still hates bugs. He wishes all the bugs were dead. But he's mostly a chemist. He's not really an exterminator. He's a chemist who went to college for chemistry. He got a diploma, and he's basically a crazy, deranged chemist that likes to experiment on people he meets. That's why Justin Dark doesn't really talk to Goggle Eyes. I mean, Mr. Goggles is what I call him. I call him Mr. Goggles in my series. But Justin Dark, my character, doesn't really talk to him because he doesn't feel comfortable around him. There will be like some stories where like, yeah, okay, Goggles, I will try this new chemical, but if I get 3 penises, you know, I'm suing you for whatever. Like literally, I do have a headcanon for these characters, and I made my own versions in the Justin Dark series. My little series I made is just, I gotta write the stories, but that's it. That's all the characters I have to talk about. Number 1 was Goggle Eyes. And I know some people might be disappointed with my list. I didn't mention Flower Power, which I freaking hate her. She's just a PETA bitch. I like her car, but I don't like Flower Power. And Cousin Eddie, I would have said something about Cousin Eddie, but I really don't like Cousin Eddie, okay? I'm not really too much of a fan of him. I mean, he's a little bit better than Trash Man, but not too big on Cousin Eddie. I probably would have mentioned Tower Tooth. If this were a top 11, he'd probably be a number 11, because Tower Tooth is pretty badass. And I really wish I would have mentioned Manslaughter, but I think Manslaughter he probably will be used again. Crazy 8 will be used again. Brimstone will be used again. Junkyard Dog has been used again outside of Twisted Metal Black, so. But, yeah. So, this was my list for the top 10 underrated Twisted Metal characters. And, yeah. So, if y'all have any characters you wish was on this list, comment down below and tell me, like, what do you think were good about, like, characters like the Joneses or Mr. Zombie even. I'm pretty sure I could have mentioned Mr. Zombie, but I didn't because he's not an original Twisted Metal character. He's a celebrity. But, yeah. So, comment down below which ones you think should have been on this list, and tell me why. I'm Justin Dark. I'm going to sign out. Have a great Twisted night, because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, really, but, you know, I'll see y'all later. Bye.